Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Senior Safety Advice Podcast. This is the show that gives older adults and family caregivers practical, trustworthy information so that you can live at home safely and with confidence. I'm Esther Kane. I'm a retired occupational therapist, certified aging in place specialist, and a dementia care specialist, and I'm truly glad that you're here with me today. Before we get started, if this show has been helpful for you, please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't yet on your podcast app or over on YouTube, and visit us anytime at seniorsafetyadvice.com for more free tips and resources. Sharing the show with someone you care about is one of the kindest things that you can do, so please pass it along. Now, today we are talking about one small thing that can make one of the biggest differences in bathroom safety. And we're talking about those standard grab bars, specifically grab bars in the shower. You might think a grab bar is a grab bar. One is like the other. You pick one up, you stick it on the wall, done. But there's actually quite a bit to know about choosing the right one, putting it in the right place, and making sure it's installed safely. And getting this right, it could genuinely prevent a serious fall. So let's dig in. Let's start with the why, because I know some people hear the word grab bar and think, really? Do I really need that? I've been showering my whole life without one. Here's the reality. The bathroom is the most dangerous room in the home for older adults. And the shower, that wet, slippery, enclosed space where we step over a ledge, stand on one foot to wash sometimes, and sometimes have to bend down, is where a significant number of falls happen. Balance changes as we age. Reaction time slows. A sudden spell of dizziness, a slippery surface, a moment of distraction, and in a split second, everything changes. A grab bar gives you something solid to hold onto in exactly that moment. The thing I want people to understand is this: grab bars aren't just for people who've already fallen, they're for anyone who wants to make sure that they don't fall. Installing a grab bar before you feel you need one is one of the smartest, most proactive things that you can do. Why wouldn't you use a tool to help to prevent something from happening? As an occupational therapist, one of the most common things that I saw after a bathroom fall was someone saying something like, I had been meaning to put in a grab bar. The intention was there. The follow through just hadn't happened yet. So please don't let that be your story. There's absolutely no reason for you to suffer an injury. The window between meaning to and too late can close very quickly. And believe me, it only takes a second for an injury to occur. Now, before anything else, I need to make something very clear. A towel bar is not a grab bar. I can't say this firmly enough. Towel bars are designed to hold a towel. They're attached with small screws into drywall, and they are not built to support a person's weight. If you grab one in a moment of imbalance, it can pull right out of the wall, and instead of stopping a fall, it becomes part of one. A proper grab bar is a completely different product. It's made of solid steel or some kind of reinforced material. It's designed to hold hundreds of pounds, and critically, it needs to be installed into wall studs or with specialized anchors that are rated to support body weight. So, if there's a towel bar near your shower right now that you've been using to steady yourself, I'd really encourage you to make the switch. It's one of those changes that feels small but carries enormous protective value. What I've seen often is that the towel bar is replaced with a grab bar. So you put the towel over it, just like you would with the towel bar, but this time when you go to reach for it, it can support your weight. A proper grab bar should hold at least 250 pounds of force. Many are rated up to 500 pounds or more. Always look for grab bars that are ADA compliant. That's the Americans with Disabilities Act. That rating tells you the bar has been tested to meet real safety standards. Okay, so now let's talk about the types of grab bars that are out there because there are more options than most people realize, especially these days. First, there are permanent wall mounted grab bars. These are the gold standard. They're fixed into the wall, they don't move, and when properly installed, they are rock solid. They come in different lengths, commonly 12, 18, 24, and 36 inches, and in different mounting angles: horizontal, vertical, diagonal. I've even seen L shape. Each angle serves a slightly different purpose, and we'll talk about placement in just a moment. Then there are suction grab bars. Now, these are the kind that you see at big box stores and pharmacies for around $20 or $30. They attach to tile without drilling because it's a suction cup. Now, I want to be honest with you about these. They can be helpful as a temporary solution or in a rental where you can't drill, but they are not as reliable as a wall mounted bar. Suction cups do fail, especially on textured tile, older tile, or if the bar isn't rechecked regularly. I had tested suction cups for a while and I had to reinstall the suction grab bars every single day. So the red light would come on, meaning that the suction wasn't as strong. Get these little lights in these suction grab bars. And every day I had to redo it. So I knew that it just wasn't something that is as useful as a mounted grab bar. If suction cup bars are what you have right now, please test them before every single use with a firm downward push. But I recommend that you get the mounted ones. There are also floor mounted and tension mounted poles. These run from the floor to the ceiling and can include grab rings that you can hold on to at various heights. They work well in certain situations, especially near a toilet or beside a tub. And they also would work well beside a bed. Don't forget that. They don't require drilling, but they do need periodic tightening to stay secure. Finally, there are fold down grab bars. These swing up against the wall when not in use and fold down when needed. They're a great option for shared bathrooms where not everyone wants or needs a bar in the way, or for someone who values a cleaner visual. When I worked with patients, I rarely recommended just one grab bar. Most people benefit from a combination: a vertical bar near the shower entry for stepping in and out, a horizontal or diagonal bar along the shower wall for stability while standing, and sometimes an additional bar near the shower controls so you can steady yourself while reaching. Think of it as a system, not a single fix. Now, placement is everything. The best grab bar in the world doesn't help much if it's in the wrong spot. So let's walk through the shower step by step. The first moment of risk is stepping in. You're lifting one foot over the threshold while your other foot is on a wet surface. This is where a vertical grab bar near the shower entry makes the most sense. Something can grip as Something that you can grip as you step over. The bar should be positioned at a height where you can comfortably reach it before your foot leaves the ground. Once you're inside the shower, the next area of concern is general stability while standing and moving. A horizontal bar mounted along the long wall of the shower, usually between 33 and 36 inches from the floor, gives you something to hold while you wash, turn, or reach. Diagonal bars, which angle from lower to high, are excellent because they let you use them in multiple positions depending on what you're doing. I have a diagonal bar in my shower. If you use a shower chair or a bench, which I highly recommend, you'll also want to think about a bar that helps you lower yourself down and stand back up. That's a different motion than simply standing and balancing, and the placement should support that specific movement. Now, there's an important one that people often overlook. If your shower has controls on one wall and the shower head on another, think about whether you can reach the controls without losing your balance. A grab bar near the control panel means you can steady yourself while adjusting the temperature instead of reaching across open space. If you're not sure where your grab bar or bars should go, stand in your shower and go through your actual routine: stepping in, washing, turning around, stepping out. Notice every moment where you reach for the wall or feel uncertain. Those moments tell you exactly where the bars should go. Although I am telling you, I would highly recommend that you get a referral or prescription for an occupational therapist to come in and lay out the proper placement for you, for your height and for your mobility issues. So now you know the types and the placement. Let's talk about what to look for when you're actually choosing one. Material. Material actually matters. Now, stainless steel is the most durable and rust resistant option. Some bars are chrome plated, which looks great, but can corrode over time in a humid bathroom. If you're in a wet environment every day, stainless steel is worth the investment. Diameter matters too. A bar that's too thin is hard to grip securely, and one that's too wide can be awkward. The standard recommendation and what the ADA guidelines suggest is a diameter between 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 inches. That size fits comfortably in most hands and provides a secure grip. Now, texture on the surface, I think, is very important. Most people look at grab bars that are very smooth, but I always recommend the ones that have some texture to them. A smooth bar can be slippery when your hand is wet. Look for a bar with knurled or textured finish. That's a pattern worked into the surface that improves grip even with wet hands. Some bars have non-slip coating, which can also work quite well. And think about the finish. Grab bars today come in chrome, brushed nickel, oil rubbed bronze, matte black, white, and even colors. There's no reason a grab bar can't look attractive in your bathroom. Choosing a finish that matches your fixture means it blends in rather than standing out as a medical device. And that matters to a lot of people. I always encourage people to think about their grip strength honestly. If you have arthritis, limited hand strength, or any condition that affects your grip, a textured bar with the right diameter isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. A bar you can't grip well in a wet shower isn't providing the safety it should. This is one of those situations where the details genuinely change the outcome. All right, so now let's talk about installation because this is where a lot of people either get it right or get it dangerously wrong. The single most important thing to know is this: a grab bar must be anchored into a wall stud or into solid blocking behind the tile. Drywall alone will not hold it. Tile alone will not hold it. The force a person puts on a grab bar when they're losing their balance can be significant. And if the bar isn't secured to something structural, it will fail. Finding the studs behind your shower tile can be tricky because electronic stud finders don't always work through tile. There are specialty stud finders designed for this, or a professional installer will know how to locate them. If there are no studs where you need the bar, then blocking, which is a solid piece of wood secured between the studs behind the wall, can be added during a bathroom renovation. I know that can be difficult if you already have tile and you don't have the backing there, that the studs that you need to put that there. It's best to speak with an installer and see what can be done. There are anchors that can be used perhaps in your wall, but again, speak with a specialized installer that does grab bars, not just a regular handyman, someone who actually specializes in grab bar installations. Now, listen, I know some people are handy and want to do things themselves. And if you have a solid do it yourself experience and the right tools, then of course it can be done. But honestly, for something this important to your safety, I recommend hiring a professional, someone who is a certified aging in place specialist and is in the business of installing grab bars. A skilled handyman who has done grab bar installations might be a good choice for you, but it just depends on whether you have the studs available or not. The cost of professional installation is usually quite reasonable, and it's a fraction of the cost of an emergency room visit and all the other stuff that's going to happen, rehab and everything else, if you fall and hurt yourself. Once a grab bar is installed, always test it before relying on it. Give it a firm lateral pull and a firm downward push. There should be zero wobble. If anything feels loose, don't use it. Have it re-evaluated by the installer before trusting it with your weight. So, family caregivers, I want to take a moment here to talk to you. If you're worried about your loved one in the shower or the bathtub, maybe they've had a close call, or maybe they're starting to need a little more time in there and you're not sure why, grab bars are one of the most concrete, actionable things that you can do. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a major renovation. You just need the right bar in the right place, properly installed. If your loved one is resistant to the idea, try framing it this way. You can say something like, "These are in every hotel and hospital for a reason. They just make the shower safer for everyone." Removing the "this is for old people" kind of idea or feeling by normalizing it can go a long way. And listen, I know I said that you don't need a major renovation, but honestly, sometimes because of the way the bathroom is set up and the studs, you may need some kind of renovation, but believe me, it's still worth it. And if your loved one is living with dementia, pay close attention to shower safety. Supervision during bathing may already be part of your routine, but grab bars add an extra layer of support in those moments when they're moving in and out of the shower, which is often when falls happen. Look for bars with a contrasting color if possible, because high contrast helps with visual perception for someone suffering from dementia. All right, so let's wrap up what we covered today. Grab bars are one of the highest impact, lowest cost safety investments that you can make in your home. The bathroom is where so many falls happen, and the shower is ground zero. Choose a permanent wall mounted bar when possible. Make sure it's ADA compliant, stainless steel, with a textured grip and the right diameter for your hand. Place it where your routine actually needs support, near the entry, along the wall, and near the controls. And get it installed properly into a stud or solid blocking by someone who knows what they're doing. If you're not sure where to start, an occupational therapist or a certified aging in place specialist can do a bathroom assessment and give you a specific plan for your space. You can find specialists like that at aginginplacedirectory.com. You deserve to feel safe when you're bathing, whether it's a bathtub or a shower, every single day, of course. And this is one of the simplest ways to make that happen. So please, don't wait on this one. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Bathroom safety is something that I feel very strongly about because I've treated so many patients with injuries from that. And I hope this episode gave you the confidence to take action, whether that means checking the grab bar situation in your own home or helping a loved one do the same. For more free tips and resources on aging safely at home, come visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you're looking for CAP certified professionals or other senior care services, again, check out aginginplacedirectory.com. It's a great place to start. If this podcast has helped you in any way, one of the biggest ways that you can support it is by subscribing, leaving a review, or liking the episode. Those simple actions may seem small, but they really do make a huge difference. They actually help the podcast reach more people, especially family caregivers, older adults, and professionals who may need the information and support. And honestly, your support helps me to continue creating these episodes. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for helping me to spread this message to others who may benefit from it. I'm Esther Kane. Stay safe, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next episode.